Have you ever gotten a letter or an email from someone that just seemed to go on and on and on? Well, in college, it was me sending those letters. Instead of changing, I decided to own it, so I called them my verbose letters. In general, once a quarter, I would write a many pages long letter to everybody that I knew with updates on my life, the different classes I was taking, the clubs that I was in, philosophical musings, reflections on talks and events I went to, the works. I'm more of a humanist, so I don't have a lot of explicitly spiritual practices like prayer or meditation, but I think these verbose letters scratched an itch that might have been coming from that same place. I tried hard to be introspective, to really reflect on how my life had been going. Many of the reflections that I've given up here were originally based on something that I had written about years ago in a verbose letter. Reflections on death, reflections on living in an unjust world, on what justice even is, on understanding my limits. Writing these letters really was an exercise in better understanding myself. And it wasn't just about the letter itself either. It was something that crept into every part of my life. I always knew that I would be writing a new letter in a few months, so I would sometimes think, is this something that would make it into a verbose letter? If I was considering staying in, watching TV, probably not. If I was thinking about volunteering or going to an interesting talk, probably yes. Knowing that I was going to be introspective, knowing that I was going to reflect on my time, and in a public way, helped me spend my time better, helped me live my life more in line with my values, let me avoid being trapped by what was easiest or most convenient. I would be remiss if I didn't emphasize the public point. I still journal, but my reflections aren't usually public, with certain obvious exceptions. Part of the reason why sharing my reflections mattered is because we are, at least I am, more accountable to something when it's public. I'm much better at being accountable to someone else than I am to myself. But it also helped me be closer with other people. Introspection and reflection are fundamentally an act of vulnerability, which is the essence of what can bring people together, closer to one another. And every time I wrote one, it was an invitation to folks to reconnect with me, with plenty of conversation starters built in. I think that's one thing that makes church communities like this one so special. Things like small group ministry encourage us to reflect and share with each other, but even outside of that, every service is an invitation to reflect on ourselves and an invitation to share those reflections with everyone else who just went through the same experience. I feel like we're deluged by generic AI-generated writing, political crises, recycled TikTok videos about the flavor of the month, just so much noise everywhere you look. It gets in your head. It can be hard to think through it, hard to just appreciate the simple beauty around us. And a lot of people are trying to cut through the noise just by shouting louder. But I think what really cuts through is authenticity. Authentic reflection, authentic values, authentic connection with other people. Even if that authenticity comes in the form of a letter that's way too long for anybody to actually read.